What's up, you guys? Good morning. September 9th, 2024. We're about ready to get rocking here. Come on in. You are joining the best live trading show on YouTube. What's up, you guys? Good morning. Welcome to the show. Friends, family, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right, let's get our stuff going. What's up, friends? How y'all doing? Girl, calendar up here. Come on, everybody get on in here. Ready to go? What's up? Good morning, Zoom. Earnings this week. Let's see what we got going on here. Oracle. Yeah, not really much on the earnings front anymore. This week in the news, let's see if we have. Okay. CPI is Wednesday. Be some volatility on that. CPI Thursday. Yeah, decently sized week. So market's gonna mosey along and have some fun until then. What's up, you guys? Good morning. Good to see y'all. It's always good to see you guys here. So much fun with y'all. Go ahead and start marking up some of our chart stuff. We're already blasting up outside of DD bands today, so this is a pretty good start to the week. I've got no active trades right now. Mark up our chart here super quick. We've got 4 minutes till market opens. I spy. Music a little lower. 54.49. 53.94. I'm still a bigger bull on the bigger grand scheme of things, but there's still some downside here. 53.99. There. Okay, so let's clean out some of this. So you are no longer there, and you are no longer there. All right, downside, downside, downside. What is this? You are no longer there. Okay. Should we just look at the retracement of the last day's move? Just double checking. Halfway point. That's where it was. There. There. 54, 58. Okay. Good to note. Good to note. All right. Good, 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 good. What's up? Good morning, y'all. 54, 58. Oh, we're there right now. Should I watch here on YouTube? Zoom is faster. YouTube has a delay. Lots of drama on X. You know what's funny about X and drama on X is that I listen to it. I have so much fun listening to it. I don't participate in it. It's not really fun. It's actually more like sad to listen to. I think people are struggling to do business these days, and the saturation of how many influencers are in the stock market world now. So people try to get a little clever on engagement farming. I'm known as Mr. Nice Guy. Well, actually, both of the streamer Matts are Mr. Nice Guys. We never get in beef with anybody, really. I'm a little more in your face, though. I'll tell people, like, you guys want to challenge me on a trading contest? I always tell people this. Like, there's nobody in the world that has ever been like, I'll take you on, buddy. I'd love to. 53.94. All right, so we're sitting here on this one. So in general, what I feel is that the market's going to still up and then down some more, and by the end of September, bottom out for the first wave. That's what monthly maps are showing. We'll discuss that as soon as we get the new data coming through. Let's get NASDAQ right up here front and center. It is a new week. We do have CPI, PPI, so we might see some pre-CPI, PPI movement. God, I need to really turn that down. Sorry about your eardrums. 18,855. NASDAQ's still the bad looking one. I'm sorry, 555 of the two. NASDAQ just has, like, it's the one that's kind of the weaker monthly map. 719. So NASDAQ has hedge pressures up above it. So that's the pivot. What we do on. On YouTube, don't forget to smash that like button. Give us a love. Go over there. Top Step is scared of me. I told Michael Paddock, I said, I'll trade against your top two traders on Top Step to combine. The two of them combined against me, and we'll do $100,000 for charity. Dude, I get silence. Like they only care if they're streaming their competitor stuff. That's their racket. They don't want a competition. They want a streamer that streams their competitors' stuff so they can say, I got this person on the Top Step show. I'm a CEO. I know how the game is played. You know, it's a straight push against it's marketing. It's marketing against your competitors. Coke versus Pepsi. The paper prop trading world is a very saturated space. So that, he's like, here's a challenge, open challenge for this trader, open challenge for that trader. Challenge. But all the traders are people that are streaming the competitors thing. I'm like, every time I'll raise my hand. I'm like, I'll come in there. I'll sweep the floor with you guys. But they don't want a good trader to come in there and beat their house traders and make them look bad. So, you know, they just want to make a circus out of the competitor streamers coming on the show. Bummers, that would be good content. It would be good content. It'd be fun, and even for charity. But look, in 5 years, all these companies can be dead. So I would even think, you know, the era of trader funding programs being all over the place is not going to be a. It's just going to be too saturated, and it's going to become oversaturated. I think the industry will still be around, but it's not going to be like it is now. Pretty soon, the major brokers, I think, will start offering prop trading if it doesn't become illegal. And then that's what just people will use. These third party groups will go. I think like if Trade-A-Bait was smart, they'd make their own, not license it out third party. But what do I know? Okay, we are bull long up at a bear zone resist. They're popping up like all over the place. The thing is with VLU, let me show you guys here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Yeah, love you guys. Okay, I'm gonna get some readings in here. There is resistance here. There's support here. This is it. This is the problem. There's not really much trading on this particular setup for me. Seeing that the resilience numbers are positive. Good. All right. This is support today. Problem. Support here. This is Matt's favorite trade. This is obviously the low of day if it does fall. This is going to be hard to break that resistance though. This is heavy resist. So the question is, what do I want to do here? I don't know. I don't like the short against bear zone if DD ratio is greater than half. It's one of my second favorite trades. Is to short off a bear zone, long off a bull zone is my favorite trade. Shorting off of MHP is the better short, so it's a rare case for this to break a bear zone and keep going. But you can see that the way that this is right here, there is resistance off of here. This is resistance. So if it tries to fight its way higher, that would be kind of random, hard to guess. I don't know if I do want to take a short from here for funsies. QQQ is a BSU, which is my favorite setup. This is Matt's favorite bull zone bottom. Actually, this is Matt's favorite trade from here to right there. This scalp is the money scalp. If we fall there, I take it. If we hit here, I do not short it. I'm more willing to bet on a break from there to there, but this is the high of the day. We're not breaking out any further than that. This high of the day is 457. If I were selling calls, say I'd be selling calls about 457, 0 days, just on credit spread. Buying calls at 554 if we break. Grab that delta. Connect. Other than that, let's get VIX. Thought from disconnected. Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you. You guys are so astute. So keen. VIX is sitting in a bullish liquidity map still, so the volatility's not over. Market's going to have a hard time recovering. I'm still bearish this market for the short term. I posted my on monthly maps are going to be close to. Would you guys like to see me in a trading contest with some of these people? I've never backed down. Even if the funny thing is that like even if somebody wins, a lot of these traders just don't want people to see them trade because they're not necessarily that great. And to them, it's like if you see that they lose, you'll just lose confidence in them. That's how shaky the industry is with like these influencers. But to me, if I lose, it's because someone just barely beat me or someone was better than me. I'm still really good. Like, it doesn't hurt my confidence for people to see me lose. So I'm never scared of a trading contest. I'll one-on-one anybody. I'll one-on-two anybody, to be honest. I'll probably 1v3 anybody. But the thing is that other people, they just don't want to do it. So I have bear zones here through September 19th. So the next week or two, we are still in the grains. I think that going up to CPI will be a bump, and then the next day we'll continue to sell. That's what I'm kind of looking for. I don't think, obviously you see the bear zones right here. Bear zone at the money. We're still slightly bullish for the next day or two. It could be green. Then we're flipping around. When you see bear zone above current price that you're trading at, which is very rare, you get what's called an illiquidity pocket, volatility pockets, and these things are very good for good eats on the short side. Right here. right here. This is big volatility the next 2 weeks. So this is week 1. Bull side is still liquidating week 1. Week 2 starts out stable, and then there's bear side resistance. So we're still going to be selling. All greens are going to pop. All greens are going to drop the next day is what it still looks like to me. So any green day that we get is back to shorting. And then we're going to wave out until October. Looks like the bottoms are here. So I look at bull zone bottoms. Whenever you see this kind of like bull zone strengthening, I always tell myself that's where the dip is, probably about 5:30 between now and the end of October. So I always talk about how usually red candle months typically wick at the bottom. That's one of the techniques we talk about in our Zoom calls, right? Where's the Zoom? Where are you guys at? Where's the chat? Oh. So by the end of the month, we're going to tap 5:30 as a base, and then that's where my dip is. So anywhere between now and then, 5:30 is where I'm going to long from. So wave back up, and probably somewhere inside of there. Again, you still see bear zone. Bear zone is still here and here. It's small, but you can see in here. So wave up is from there to there. 5:30 to 5:50. So the market is likely doing this. Then in here, we'll find out what next month is going to do. But I'm still in the boat that we're doing that, and then we're going to rally through the election. So my drawing hasn't changed. The targets are slightly changing. About 5:30 bottom on SPY in the next month. So I'm going to be buying. So my calls are going to be loading up there. That second wave up, which is good. You still have a garbage QQQ. So you guys, we do this monthly map as an invention of ours here. We actually are showing you where market maker risk is positions over the next 3 months. So this is where market maker who sold options to the dealers of the underlying stock are having their risk. This is put exposure. Just forced hand selling when those puts expire or near expiration in the money. Current price, you got all these puts in the money. It's going to be forced hand selling. We don't get there. Nasdaq has resistance all along the way. That's the problem. Nasdaq is the garbage looking one. So over the next week or so, you still have this big chunk of bear zone, illiquidity pocket. So essentially the volatility, I'm going to draw the range. This is where bull zone is. This is where bear zone is. Do we see that the volatility is going up in the CPI? It's Wednesday, PPI Thursday. You'll see that. It's a problem. This is the average range when you draw the actual zone itself. Nasdaq is going to probably start off clean, and over the next 2 weeks, it's going to get more violent. The daily candles can be as big as this, 20 points on Qs. So some of the biggest red days aren't behind us yet. That are possible. Doesn't mean it's going to sell off, and anything could change when the CPI comes out. Okay. Right now, all bets are on, are the Fed going to lower interest rates quicker than now, because now the market dynamics have shifted to become very bearish. DD ratio is still on the cusp. It's right there on the edge, which I don't like to see. But yeah, so over the next week or two, does everybody see this? We're still above half, which is decent, but yeah, I don't really think that take a couple so I think market's going to come down a little bit today. I'd still like to buy the dip on hedge pressure, so I'm going to wait till we hit that bottom dip, and I'm going to long it from there. Just so we can trickle up into CPI. Whatever pop we get on CPI, I'm willing to short for us to fall, continuing after. So still, this is about till September 18th. We're still coming down. You'll see how this works. So this is the expected daily range. And so the daily range can get really nasty and wide up till September 18th, which is next week. Ooh, baby. There is no bull side strengthening until about October the 2nd, or sorry, October the 4th. This is this day. You start to see the bull side strengthening and the bear side weakening. So this is your big wave up, right? Kind of like beginning of October. This is likely where NASDAQ starts to bottom out and starts to move. So you want to see bull side slipping down, bear side slipping down, and ultimately disintegrating. You can see that there's like 2 different layers of bearishness here. Both of them are pushing down here. So your pivot leads into the beginning of October. So we're weak for another month. Right? And this is what monthly maps is great for. You can do this for anything. You guys send me a stock, I'll do it for you for a stock. It's by far one of the best tools. I've used it to push every single major pivot into my analysis, my trade plan into the future. You want to do a couple more? Tesla? Okay. So this is using the options from Friday's close to kind of show you what's doing. Tesla is showing strength actually. So some of the stocks are looking pretty decent. Tesla is strong. Bull side strengthening when it slopes down. Bear side weakening when it slopes down. Tesla is starting to base out from here. So there are stocks like Tesla that are actually looking good. I don't think Tesla looks like it wants to fall any further. That's great. Super clean. I love this. Amazon actually showing the same strength as Tesla. So Amazon and other stocks are starting to lack kind of bearishness. So when I see it like looking like this, I tell myself that Amazon this week is 170 support. Next week is 160 support. So if Amazon this week falls to here, I'm a bull on that one stock. Heck. The computer's being funny. Oh. Go really quick. $160 the week after. So Amazon like basically looks like this and looks like this. Now the problem is what happens in the October side. Stocks like Amazon in October are looking pretty garbage. So this is really bad. This is volatility. And that's where I have that sort of October bottoming, because you might actually get some really blast out lows on some of these stocks before they start to stabilize and continue to go. So you tell yourself there is some strength here to support. And then it kind of looks pretty gross leading into October. So Amazon looks bad. Next month, like this month, it's chopping its way lower, slightly bullish with dips to buy. And the next month, it looks like it's gonna, again, we'll see when we get there. 3 weeks out, it looks kind of bad. And most of the Nasdaq stocks kind of are looking like that. That's why Nasdaq doesn't look like it supports until October. Oh boy, USO, oil all over the place. This is a little interesting to see. Oil still bearish on the short term. That's all it tells me. This being all choppy like this is weird. Volatile in 3 weeks. Like everything is just looking pretty volatile 2 to 3 weeks out. Again, all hinges on what the Fed's going to do, right? All right. I love monthly maps. God, they're so great. Okay, so today's setup is not really super actionable. Any kind of maverick. There's a possible resist there. 545 resist. I don't take a long from here. Likely close below this level by the end of the day, no matter what happens. Close above this level. So we're somewhere in this range. A maverick could take a bet off of this, but it's still, this is like a relaxing day off of the last week's sell-off. So I ideally, if there were some kind of event to bring this down lower, which I don't think there would be, longing from down here is the trade for the day for me. On the bottom, just buying the dip for a scalp. So breakout long, not going to really happen. Where's that? So no trades today, no options trades today, nothing for me today. Not on this one. QQ has a similar kind of setup. It's likely to close below here. And then close above here. Just kind of make it the Same distance there. Somewhere in this boat. I guess our day trading with 100 euros, I don't honestly know how much that is in US dollars. I don't know anything about European regulations on minimums as well. Is that close to $50 US? Like, what's the conversion around euro and dollar? I would say that if that's relatively underneath $100 US or in that same ballpark, there's really not much you can do as far as I know with that amount of money, other than somebody says buy a challenge and a prop firm. Prop firm's the way to go if you want to do any kind of trading. If I don't know the legality of prop firms in your country, but you'd have to find out. In Europe, you can trade CFDs for very cheap. I know they have prop firms on that stuff. About 110. Oh, it's the exchange rate's the other way. Yeah, prop firm. GDDY. So those of you on YouTube, don't forget to smash the like button. You guys, free trading chatter. Not enough data on GDDY to trigger a liquidity map calculation. So typically, either nobody's ever looked at it before, and now we'll start pulling it in the list, or it just doesn't have enough options, information for us to get the calculation come out. Nothing there, bud. A lot of times, it's just the first time someone's ever looked at a stock. So we have a dynamic list that if no one's ever looked at something before, we don't have it in our database. And then it'll start looking for it tomorrow. So honestly, right here, it's not an actionable trade. Resilience is strong enough to keep the market floating. So resilience on SPY pushing this way. There's resistance here. It's going to chop inside of here. If res is less than 0. Only if res is less than 0. If there's an opportunity for this to come down to here. There. ED is greater than half. I'm going to long from there. From here right to there is the money scalp. I know only half the distance from here from BSU if there's a hedge break. But resilience is strong, so it doesn't look like it's going to happen today. We're definitely strong enough. So if res is greater than 0, we're supporting hedge pressure. So this is the active range of trading today. It's about 25 points. We are pressing slightly above the DD ratio, which is kind of keeping the market kind of floating here. If it doesn't show liquidity map, it's because you probably never have asked for us to calculate it before. Since there's, infinite number of possible stocks and stock combinations out there, we didn't just create our database to house every 4 and 5 letter, 3 and 4, 5 letter combination of letters. Basically, we look at a dynamic list of stocks. If you call a stock out, then we add it to the list. And then in the morning, we check that there's actual data. And if there's no data, we reject all the misspellings and throw them off the list. But if there's data, then we call it forever. So the example is, there could be a company that comes into existence and invents a stock ticker. The first day you look at it, it'll say no data. And then every day after that, there will be data. So a lot of those MSTR may just be in that condition. Nobody's ever looked at it before. And the other condition is that the liquidity maps are only calculated if the data is good. So there's no actionability up here. I'm going to put up here. No actionability. There's no pivots to trade off. No actionability. So problem with these kind of setups, the market's already irrational DD break. Here, no actionability inside of this range. Hard to predict. So a lot of times, Brian, like the data basically comes through if the data doesn't have the integrity that we're looking for, then we throw it out. A lot of times it's either There's not enough options to really make a generalization. An example is if there were only like 2 calls in existence, that's it, just 2, and 0 puts, it can create a really strong liquidity map saying it's only bullish, right? But there's only 2 calls. It's not really integrity in such a small data set, so we'll throw it out. There's certain criteria that the magic of liquidity maps and monthly maps have to happen. There's certain things we know have to happen for it to give you a good map. A lot of times our integrity check will throw out some of the data too. And just, it's better to have no liquidity map than a bad liquidity map. Or a flimsy one. So. Because they're such strong, the maps are so strong that we want to make sure it's a good calc for it to be considered. No actionability in the market today up in this area. In the S&P, I don't have any pivots until 55.02. So let's show you guys over here. Oh, we also have DD band setups as well. Okay. So to go with this, there's really no actionability inside of here. There's also an additional pivot. So we take our S&P pivots, and we let me go back to SPY. We'll translate them to futures. So we're going to do the same setup. So that's about 25 points lower. And 25 and 40. Okay. So this, relatively speaking, is 35. Oh, that's about the same pace. 35. 15, about 20. Yep. So this is like when I draw them all together, this is about where it is. So S&P Bears bull zone is here. So I'm kind of lining everything up. So inside of here, there's really no actionability. Bear zone. It's just choppy inside of here. If resilience is less than 0, we drop, which it's definitely strong. I don't think we'll drop. Even if we do drop, there's supports here and here. So the question is, would I long on DD band? And probably not. I don't try to trade these like irrational markets, to be honest. So this is one of those days where you wake up and most of the movements happen, and the market's not going to be really easy to trade today. So you just choose to sit out. One of the best things about trading is you can choose to sit out. If you choose to sit out, you're going to have a great time. You guys understand what I'm saying? Fully empowered. Just wake up and be like, nothing's worth trading. Like I can tell the market's not going to go straight up or sell off right when we open. It's already been like 30 minutes. The market's gone nowhere. And we know this, right? So, But then again, keep a high win rate. You don't have to trade every day. The law of large numbers states the more you do, the more the house going to buck you up. Because they have the advantage and you don't. Find the exploits and the things where the advantage is yours, and you take it. However, advantage today. So what are you guys up to? What's new in your world? Do anything fun this weekend? Just see Beetlejuice yet? I honestly had to. We watched the old Beetlejuice because the Gen Z Mrs. has not seen many of the 80s movies that we all grew up with, even though she's not that young. Just sit and watch. Like, we have these talks all the time. Like, she's like, what's Back to the Future? I'm like, Beetlejuice, never heard of it. Do you even know what Beetlejuice looks like? You ever saw the Nickelodeon cartoon? It's like, I watch Power Rangers. I'm like, So she's like at the Power Rangers era, and I'm at the Ninja Turtles era, right? It's like one click away. So we watched the old Beetlejuice, and she was like, "Oh, this is actually kind of a nice movie." I was like, "Yeah, it's like one of Tim Burton's first movies." She goes, "Who's Tim Burton?" I'm like, the really bad Willy Wonka movie with Johnny Depp. Oh yeah. And I'm like, trust me, he used to throw together a lot of good movies, like Edward Scissorhands. Oh, I haven't seen that either. I'm like. So we're gonna have like a, I'm thinking like orchestrating like a Tim Burton marathon. We'll watch the old Batmans, you know, Edward Scissorhands. We'll have some fun with it. He wasn't a huge fan of the new Beetlejuice. I was reading how they played off Jeffrey Jones. You know, he got you know, blacklisted from his you know, from his place in Hollywood for doing some nasty things. So I heard they killed him off and it was part of the plot line, but no spoilers. But it's kind of cool seeing Michael Keaton make a comeback. He was making roles, and then, like, seeing him like come back in full force is actually nice. And you kind of like think, you're like, man, we missed having him around Hollywood. He was a special kind of character actor. He's good. So it'd be good to see him come back in any kind of role. He's been back as Batman. He's been back as Beetlejuice. Birdman was pretty cool if y'all saw that. No action building. Love days like this where there's just nothing to trade off of. So here, the market might defy odds and continue to push up. There's no shorting today, by the way. Don't look at these arrows and say this is a short setup. Zero short setup here. No short setup here for me. So I'm not shorting it. It's just a low probability the market's going to move. So when I have arrows like that, all I'm doing is saying that if it does fall, I'm buying the dip. So we know the rule, no shorting off a hedge pressure when you push into it. That's my rule as well. Even though there can be something like this, this is the ideal trade. I'm going to write this here, ideal. There's no shorting here. I don't short off a hedge pressure. I never do. All these arrows are pointing up. Right? So if it just trickles up and trickles up and trickles up, I'm going to miss the trade, but I don't want to trade something like that. Okay? So just remember, there's no setup here today. Nothing touched it, nothing. George and the Giant Peach. I remember reading that book when I was a kid. Was it George? James and the Giant Peach. James the Giant Peach. Roald Dahl. So no short setup today. This is probably going to just trickle along. Resilience is good. DD ratio is good. Recovery day off of last week's sell-off. So there's not really much I would say off of this one that's worth investing my time and looking at. Give me a short market day today. Damn. See what Big Daddy Google's doing today. Oh, that's right. This is the new iPhone, right? That's today. The iPhone 16. That's right. Apple's newest phone. Like, the catchphrase just needs to be like, Apple, slightly better. Like, the new phone is like, the only incentive to ever buy a new phone, and since the iPhone 12, which was the big one with the new camera changes, ever since then, the iPhone has done nothing different for me. Here's what the iPhone needs to do. They need to put the charger on the top of the phone. That way I can have it sitting on my fat stomach while I'm trying to sleep. The charger's coming off the top or off the side. Instead of me having to turn my phone upside down, it just feels weird. That's it. And then Apple needs a second thing they called recipe mode. You guys ready for this? And hire me at Apple. I'm a great CEO. I'll come with some ideas. Recipe mode is whenever you do this thing, like this thing right here. And I have a green line because I've dropped my phone. I need to get a new one. Recipe mode, you just push one button and then your home screen doesn't lock. When you're trying to cook, how many times you're trying to cook, you're like, oh man, my phone keeps shutting off. Where's the recipe? Hold on. Settings, backdrop, no, don't shut off. And then it's all just, how about a one-click not lock your phone screen? Call recipe mode. See what I'm saying? I have great ideas. How do you guys, come on, y'all have that problem. You got like flour in your hands, you're frying chicken. You're like, ugh. Let me go through my mint, and your phone's covered in gunk at that point. You need to connect to the user base again. So without Steve Jobs, you're disconnected. How many cooks use Apple phone? Look up the recipe. See what I'm saying? Here's why I get a new phone. So the battery lasts longer than 20 minutes. That's the only reason I ever get a new phone. Or to get rid of the green lines on the screen once you drop it. Anyways, look at Apple today. But Apple iPhone sales have been strong year over year over year. iPhone sales are strong, and they're only getting stronger. It is a device that's going to be here for decades. So I think the usability and friendliness of Apple is a paradigm shift in mobile technology. It's just like when Apple created the Apple II, right? It was a mainstay for, at least Apple was a mainstay until like the late 90s. Still went through its slump. The iPhone, unless we have some kind of new paradigm in devices, a device you hold in your hand, Apple's going to be king for a long time. It's going to be hard to dethrone that because the device is just, it's one of the few devices that was invented that's basically perfect. Now, there's flaws of it, of course, but like the usability and friendliness, it's just perfect. It's so easy the average person can use it, have fun using it. It's like one of those things that is such a rare thing. So Apple's going to be king of the mountain for a long time. Phone industry. Well, the thing with BlackBerry was like, even Microsoft was the same way. I remember watching a video with Steve Ballmer making fun of Apple because there wasn't a keyboard. He's like, how can you type on a screen with no keyboard? That doesn't make sense. Nobody's going to like it. And Apple's entering the market as the highest consumer product to ever enter the market. Blah, 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 blah. And who's going to pay $1,000 for a phone? That just sounds ridiculous. But we'll see. We'll see who wins this fight. And Microsoft at the time was still like a stylus and a keyboard, and BlackBerry was still a keyboard. Yeah, BlackBerry thought the same thing, but BlackBerry failed to see what's important to go viral. They had a good idea. Good ideas don't last that long. MySpace was a good idea. See, a good idea or being a first with an idea is great. But then somebody makes the idea user-friendly, and then that's what goes viral. Like, Facebook just got really big because it had some cool... It just became cool and had cool features people liked. But, like, you know, MySpace was like the first big phenomenon. But it didn't have a lot of functionality. Like, BlackBerry probably thought the same thing. Oh, we're going to be around forever. People underestimated how cool it was to touch a screen. First time I tapped it, I was like, "Oh, this is cool." I feel like those people had confirmation bias. They tapped it and get, "No, it's not a keyboard. I don't know if I like it." First time I touched, my friend had an iPhone, I touched it. I was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" And I'm like, "This is gonna be a thing. If I like it, it's gonna be a thing." I have great taste when it comes to stuff. If I like something, I know it's gonna be a phenomenon. I don't like things that if I like something, I know everyone else probably gonna like it too. I have that kind of deal. Like when I put on an Oculus, everybody was like, virtual reality is gonna be like the next big thing. And I bought the Oculus. I played Beat Saber for a week, and I was like, nah, it's not gonna be the next big thing. Same thing as it was in the 80s. It's a clunky headset. I gotta walk around with this thing, and I'm like, it's not gonna be a thing until the VR goggle is the size of this, and then it'll be a thing. I think it's too awkward. And everybody was talking about. Remember Mark Zuckerberg? All these people were talking about it. All this like, we're gonna live in the metaverse. We're gonna live in, and I'm like, no, we're not. Look at me buying virtual real estate. I'm like, no. Until it's like a contact in your eyeballs or things like that. I'm like, so I understand the trends. Like, it's not gonna take off. It didn't take off in the 80s. Is a fad for a little bit. Everybody bought one, and my Oculus got a lot of playtime during COVID. But other than that, I don't really touch it anymore. Now, the glasses, the Apple Glass and all that, or the Apple whatever it's called, yeah, that's the step in the right direction. Apple's understanding you won't want a bulky thing. You need high battery life and thin thing on your face. An iPhone without all the fancy cameras but all the good hardware. Honestly, you may not like the camera unless you take a lot of pictures. If you take a lot of pictures, the iPhone camera is as good as the pictures to an untrained eye are indistinguishable from my $4,000 Sony camera that I use. And I also have a very expensive Canon that I use. as well. I do photography for as like a hobby. I'll tell you something. These cameras are good on these phones. Professionally good. Real photographers don't like to admit that, but they're pretty damn good. The average person will be able to tell a difference between a camera, an iPhone, and a really expensive mirrorless camera. It's bad compared to Samsung. That's what I've heard. I've heard the Samsung has a little bit of a better camera. I'm telling you, I'm not getting excited until they make recipe mode. Other than that, until they make recipe mode, I'm not gonna care. Any chance I grab puts at the close or trick up all day? That's very possible for weeklies. Problem is I'd be competing with CPI. So my fear is today, if you're to buy puts today, would probably be the day to do it. But I have to buy them for a week or two out. I don't want to artificially inflate near-term expiring options off a high AV leading in the CPI. The CPI is gonna be the big catalyst, right? All eyes right now are looking at the Fed, and all the novice and amateur fundamental analysis types out there are like, the market's selling off because J. Powell took too long to cut rates. And I'm like, ugh, I didn't even go to economics school, and that's cringy sounding to me, but they're all saying it. Everyone's regurgitating the same talking points. Looks like Apple's got its hedge pressure tap right here. Open above could be a retracement back up. So yeah, the market's just going to trickle higher today. I don't see any reason for it to sell off. But I do think CPI is going to be the big. Justin has the wholesale inventories coming through. Forecast previous came in a little bit less in the month over month. It's just July 1.1 came in over the forecast. Inventories are down. Sales are up. That's good. That's actually really good. It shows that the backlog is clearing out. People are more comfortable buying stuff if inventories are down. And then, of course, now again, inventories wholesale is like in the middle, right? So that could be because retail is buying, or maybe the producers aren't making as much. It goes both ways. With wholesale sales being up kind of tells the story, right? 1.1 on a 3.3 forecast would mean that inventories would come down. Wi-Fi charging? Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Wait, is that in the new phone? Wi-Fi charging? There's a movie about BlackBerry. Oh, dude, I saw it. I thought it was great. Had Dennis Reynolds in it. Glenn Howerton. They were like, we need somebody to play an absolute dick of a human being, like a complete asshole. And Glenn Howerton's like, I kind of invented that role. Have you seen Dennis Reynolds? He was perfect for that part. It was like a little crazy though, but I dug it. I thought it was good. I forgot the guy's name, but the investor that bought BlackBerry. It's still trickling higher. S&P going up. See, no sell off today. It was easy to see that it wasn't going to sell off, but again, I don't take these little trades like this because there's just not a lot of juice in it. Maybe could have hold for 10 points, but big sell-off day. I'm gonna let this retrace, come up with a better setup. So normally on days like this, I like to buy the dip if it happens. And since it didn't happen, there's really no trade for me today, which is good. And mirrorless, all Sony is so good. Oh, dude, Sony is so great. This is my camera right here. Although the problem is you can see a little flicker, and I haven't been able to get rid of it. The neon sign now makes. I set my ISO to auto, and I can't get a good f-stop to keep it from flickering. It's the light. The light is tricking my camera. It's two different kinds of. They look the same to you guys. It's like blue and blue, but they're actually different colors of blue. So the light is tricking my camera, and having a hard time. It's like there's a little bit of a flicker right here. And I'm having a hard time getting rid of it. It's too. I need to turn down the intensity of the sign, but it doesn't go any lower than that. So I'm trying to play around with the things. I might have to lower the intensity on the lights on the side of it, but that sunny mirrorless is great. Best camera I've ever had. Well, today's probably not the day to be buying puts though. When I'm gonna say that leading into CPI. So Tuesday afternoon would be the day to maybe consider something. Bet on that Wednesday morning. Again, I don't want to do that. Buy on the bull zone tap. So usually days like this that are green are gonna close strong and green. So this is not a sell-off day today. I wouldn't be looking at this at any way to short this. I'd be looking for dips to buy all day today, and that's really all I've got. Nothing much else. You friends in YouTube, loved y'all stuck around. Market probably is. Let me look at monthly maps again, because it does show that there's a couple of days where the market just doesn't have any, like S&P. Look at this, and we'll see how tomorrow turns out. But this is a telltale sign, you guys, of just like bull zone completely. I mean, this is just bulls liquidating, right? Bulls can't be selling any faster than they are right now. And then coming up until like 1, 2, 3 days from now, you've got bear zone sticking back in. So while we do have this resistance inside of here, I tell myself I've got bearishness all the way up to there and all the way up to there from next week. If we hit these targets, right? So we pop at 555, pop at 559. Those are the highs. 559, 555. So if we happen to get like one of these days where the market just like does this, and then we do this leading into CPI. Now I think we retrace to 555. Now again, the bigger retrace is 559, so it could even go up as high as this. So basically 55 and 59, I'm gonna buy puts to retrace this 2 weeks out. I'm still shorting this. So here to here or to there, whichever one ends up being the good pivot I short from, I might try both of them. Half the distance. So 40 to 55 is 15, 7 points, about 47. If I buy 55 at 55, I'm going to buy 47s for, I'm going to give it this long, 2 weeks to retrace half of that. And it hits 59, I'll buy some more. That's it. With that being said, I love you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Nothing else to do but just chill. No trades today. Let it do its thing. I'm not gonna do anything else from here. I'm gonna call it a day and get back to work. A lot of stuff going on in the marketplace world. We're changing the name of the marketplace. Rocket Scooter is no longer the name of the marketplace. We've settled on a new name. Rocket Scooter is no longer going to be a name you guys are going to hear much, except for the trading platform. It'll be called Rocket Scooter. The social media, Rocket Scooter, YouTube, Rocket Scooter, everything Rocket Scooter going away. The marketplace will get its own name. Rocket Scooter is a trading platform, is an app in the marketplace. It's going to not really have its own social presence, but my social presence is going to change. I have a whole new name myself. We're going to be releasing that this week. So we're doing all the big stuff. We're designing the branding for the brand new place, and I'll let you know what it is called very soon. New website, new everything. But it'll be the same stuff, just shifted over. The legacy, rocketscooter.com, will be reverted back to rocketscooter.com. So it'll have its own website, its own presence for the app. Marketplace will become the marketplace. I'll let you know what it's called pretty soon. The name is pretty cool. I think you guys will like it. Less techy. You guys, I'm gonna bounce out of here. No trades today, nothing. But I am looking to let the market pop and then short, probably leading into CPI. We'll probably get a nice little pop on CPI and then a move from there. Yeah, 559, 555. These are the areas I'd like to see some shorting from. We still have bull liquidation along the way. I'll take a picture of this, put it in the Discord. Don't forget to join the Discord. If you guys haven't checked out our program, we're doing Zoom calls. It's only $20. We should be charging $200 a month, but we made it $20 so everybody can check it out. You will not regret spending $20 to come to these master classes on this stuff. I pulled a 40K trade out of a monthly map last week. I'm about to pull another one. Wish me luck. We'll see y'all later. No trades, so no reason to sit here and talk about the market. Just kind of let the market do its thing. Don't link to the Zoom call. We're here. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Everybody, y'all need to sign up for this. I'm telling you. We're doing master classes right now on how to do this stuff. Go here. Love you guys. See you later.